the film explores in a really funny and honest way the very valid fears women face when dating, especially using the apps, which is, will I fall in love tonight or will I get murdered tonight? Lucy and Laura, can you talk about working together to kind of honor both the humor and the heart of Eva's dating journey? Because, you explored really relevant themes while having a lot of fun with tone and genre.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you speak to the tone, but I think that was always like it was a fine line of like these are very real heavy themes and taking that very seriously. And I feel like you really handled that in the best way. But also this movie is fun. It is funny. It is about a woman like coming into her own, and it is about coming out of a relationship and jumping into the dating world. But really, we did have many conversations about that, and I think that I'll let you talk about visually. I feel like that's really what you did visually.
I think that was a lot of the conversations before we were shooting, is like, how do we find that balance? There's heavy things that happen and you want there to be able to still get a laugh out of a viewer afterward, but you also don't want to make light of heavy things happening. So a lot of thought and effort went into the tone in terms of performance. And also, I think my goal was to have the movie take itself seriously from a visual standpoint, so it looked like a thriller. I was like, the look of it, the color, the edge, so that performance wise we could just focus on comedy. The audience will never forget it's a thriller because I'll take care of that, so that performance wise we can play with a range. Some stuff we can do dramatic, some stuff we can really lean into the comedy, find the comedy in the darker moments, but also make sure that we're maintaining a seriousness to the mystery. And to do that, and really it's a testament to the range that these guys have, is we would sometimes do a take that was just like, do it for drama, go for it. And then one where we're like, all right, funsies, let's do a fun take and just make it a pure comedy take, lean into the comedy. We improvised a lot, and like that was great, because then at the end of the day, we could find that perfect tonal balance in the edit, and it was all there and these guys are just so great at improvising and hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's so interesting. And it was so smart. I was laughing, but I was like, oh no, these are real issues that need to be discussed. That we really haven't had this representation of kind of like all of the real paranoia that goes into, being a woman out in the dating world, and balancing it all. And it can get super tricky too, which I think this film does a really good job at nodding to. It's so hard following our intuition, following our hearts, but then getting all of the inevitable advice from friends and loved ones. And oh my gosh, Virginia, your character Kelly, she's married and she wants her best friend to join the club.
Yes.
And without giving anything away, can you just talk about kind of finding empathy for her through her kind of less genuine intentions? Because you had a lot to play with.
Kelly's complicated. But you always, I always try to never judge a character I play, but you have to find empathy in a way into them. And, in her mind, she has the best intentions of like marriage makes everyone so happy. Whether or not her life is doing great or not, like she believes that a good marriage will fix everything and believes that a good marriage will fix everything for her friend. And come join the married club, come be one of us. And ultimately, she is obsessed with her friend and has always had a life plan for them and just wants Ava on board with her life plan and wants to have their houses together and their kids together.
Or she's in love with her. I was always like,
I always actually kind of wondered that as well.
I know.
Yeah,
maybe
it felt like there was
Maybe.
undertones
Like
of
some
maybe,
undertones of,
yeah. There's
I'm obsessed with you.
yeah.
I think it was definitely, yeah.
There's some single life
Yeah.
undertones.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure.
Well, that's what was so great about the performances that you were playing with a lot. Like it did kind of keep me on my toes. It was so relatable. I think like we don't talk about that enough as like as we get older, friendships change and they shift as we go through different life cycles and how that affects, our relationships. And I just was like, oh, this is really cool to kind of see being played out in this kind of also fun, funny way. And the two of you were just brilliant together. It was great.
We had fun.